Buck says someone makes a Steve Miller Band joke. Justin.
Some people call me the space. Hey, wait a minute. I wrote mine before you made that joke. Ish.
Okay. You interrupted yourself so enthusiastically and naturally that I couldn't tell you were in the episode for a second. I'm Hannah.
That is the longest intro ever, but we are in level 96 on
Geek K.O. This episode of Geek K.O. is not brought to you by Malloy's Alloys. Looking for a spare part but just can't find one that fits properly? Well, look no further than Malloy's Alloys. They've got everything you need for hauling bovine across the galactic grapevine, or to protect your crews from the pew-pews. Check out Malloy's Alloys. Also, be sure to check out their new clothing line, the finest of wool caps crocheted from the best cotton currently at their shop.
And you're listening to Geek K.O, the Geek Trivia Podcast. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube under the handle GKO Podcast. Do you guys like cowboys?
Great segue, Justin.
Yeah, I know, right?
Off the top of my head.
Never met a cowboy. Never met a cowboy in person who I didn't like.
Do you guys like?
I just say it very specifically because I could think of plenty of cowboys I don't like.
Yeah,
that's fighting. Like. Who wants to fight me about being a
cowboy? Well, do you like space?
I like personal space, definitely. Yeah.
I would love it. Really yeah.
Well, today's the day that we're going to finally do a topic that our listeners have been wanting us to do for like the longest time, which combines those two things, space and cowboys, and
Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, exactly. We already did Cowboy Bebop, so we're doing Firefly, and since this is a Joss Whedon joint, who better than to open up our end boss door and bring in our end boss, Nathan Schulz. Welcome back to the show.
Hello. Oh my God, I love this show. Thank you for having me on this one. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're glad that you're back. You were famously here for our Buffy episode, which is also another Joss Whedon joint. You also were here for your favorite comic book character, Thor. But now you're back for Firefly. We're excited to have you. So you know what? Let's just jump into it. Let's go to
round one.
What was the ship named after? I have no way of telling who. I have no way. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I got that one.
Go ahead.
I have no idea.
The ship was named after the Battle of Serenity
Yes! Valley. You were right. Excellent.
And Nathan just...
Yeah, from here on out, we're just guessing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Push the button.
Pick one. I'll try to hold my thing up here so you can see the lights.
All right, cool. Okay,
that sounded wrong for people who do not see this video right now.
Make sure to put this in the promo, Jen.
You can see it on the podcast.
Remind me who got that first point.
That was Josh.
Yeah, I got it.
Great.
All right. First blood goes to Josh. Okay, what rank was Malcolm in the war?
Ooh. Was he colonel?
No.
Yeah, sorry. Was he sergeant?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Still don't know the rankings in order.
And then he upgraded when he got his own ship and became captain.
Yeah, now he's a captain.
Yeah.
Well, I could get my own ship and call myself a captain then.
Yeah, that's how it works. You get your ship and you say, I'm captain. Like, you're like, well, you're right. Maritime law, I guess. In space.
Steve Rogers got captain in like no time.
He punched Hitler over 200 times, though.
That's true. I mean,
I very recently just watched the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, in the first aired episode, but technically the second episode, the train job.
Mm-hmm.
Who hired them to do the train job?
Ooh.
Oh.
Justin.
Is that Niska?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very talks like this kind of European, space European, I guess.
Space European.
Space ambiguous.
It's so exotic.
It's very. I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point. What country you're from doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nah.
All
It's
right.
not even countries.
Yeah, they're gone now. Okay, in that episode, what was the disease that infected the planet? Harder
Oh
one.
yeah, I forgot about that. It's an actual real world disease, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I'm gonna say Marco Polio.
Nice. So close. Except that it's not right, but I appreciate the effort.
Oh boy.
All right, is anyone else trying?
I don't know. I give up. I don't even want to like make one up.
It's COVID.
COVID 2019.
3.
All right, anyone throwing a shot in there?
No.
Okay. It was Boden's malady.
Right.
Boden's malady?
Oh, yeah, right, that one.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that one.
Oh, yes. Okay, moving on. This is the third episode, Bushwhacked. Where did Simon and River hide from the Alliance? Yes.
Outside of the ship in spacesuits.
Excellent, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have ever had the courage to do that, honestly. It's just like so, like, your suit is like so thin.
I thought that was so clever. It's like they're literally just like hiding, like can't see me. Can't see me.
Don't look in the window.
Yeah.
No, this is a really good move. All right. Okay. And just a general trivia for it. What year is Firefly set in? Yes.
2117?
No. But very close.
2118.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Hannah.
Oh, Hannah doesn't.
I don't play these games.
She's just here.
Okay.
Keep us in line.
Making sure we didn't lose her. I don't know. It's so much.
I just make sure that we don't go off on any tangent too great for our.
I can't remember what the second digit is. I'm confident it's 2x17.
You are correct. That is like not correct, but you're very close.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone, one more chance, or we're done?
2217.
So much closer, but 2517.
2517. Okay.
It would have just kept going.
Yeah, you just keep going. 25.
Yeah. All I remember I just remember like I think the show starts off in 2511, and then there's like a 6 years time gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like the war happens around that time, and then it ends around that time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right. So in episode 4, in Shindig, what was the name of the planet they landed on? Yes, Ish.
Persephone.
Yes, that is it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Such a fancy name for a fancy party.
Persephone.
Yeah, it is. All the really nice planets got cool names.
Yeah.
Other ones are just called like Mud Hut or something. I don't know. It's like just crappier further out. Yeah. All right. In that same episode, what was the cargo that Mal ended up getting?
Oh, dang it.
A bunch of bovine or cattle.
Exactly. Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Appropriate.
That was included in the sponsor that I wrote.
Who would have thought that cattle would survive the end of Earth, I guess?
Well, I mean, if you have to eat, you're going to take what you can with you.
I mean, yeah. You're going to create, Was Earth ever established as being done with, or did it just expand?
They used it up. Like, they'd used it up completely.
Oh, okay.
It started to expand.
I can't remember, because I've seen way too many space stuff where it's like, sometimes Earth went on, sometimes it didn't. So
yeah, well, we got Star Trek where Earth goes on forever, and idyllic. And then, every other thing, like Battlestar Galactica, it's exploded and destroyed.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's the first episode of Battlestar Galactica.
Well, I guess I'm going to skip that one.
Oh, jeez. It's going to ruin the whole season, the whole series for me. Okay, on to episode 5, safe. What? Okay, what was the name of the Berries River Pit? Go a little harder on you guys. Sorry.
Berries River Pit.
What's the name of it?
Yeah.
The Mine of Mississippi.
Nice. That's very close, except not. But it's good as you tried.
Wait, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah. What was the name of the Berries River Pit?
Oh, the Berries River. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think
Not by the river.
Yeah.
By river.
I was thinking of an like actual river.
River berries.
Oh man, I can't remember the name, but I knew that these ones were poisonous. They were canterberries.
No. They were hodgeberries.
Hodgeberries.
And, they weren't poisonous. They were fine. She was just messing with Simon.
Yeah. But she says it to Simon, like, yeah, but these ones are poisonous.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
love
remember that.
part. I love that part because it still like shows that River's like still human.
Yeah, there's still times where she's the person that she used to be. Let's see. All right, on to episode 6. One of my favorite episodes, Our Mrs. Reynolds. What is the name of Jane's gun? Yes.
The Lassiter.
Oh no, sorry.
Ooh.
Oh.
You need a personal name for it.
Oh wait. Oh, you're thinking. I'm thinking of something else.
Jane Jr.
No. So I would have accepted Jack because I'm funny.
Oh God. Okay, got it. Nope.
All right. It was Vera. She's my very favorite one.
Okay. I was thinking. Hopefully, just.
Not good. Not bad.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, James gun.
James
gun.
All right.
Say hello to my little friend. Is smaller Jane.
James Jr.
Not as big as me, Jane.
Big James.
I'm taller. All right. For last question for that, what kind of special hell is reserved for Mal?
Oh.
Yes.
The kind that preys on Little Women and those who talks during movies.
You got half of that right. The first one is child molesters and people who talk in the theater.
Yeah, praise on the little child as well as good. Yeah.
So you get half point.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I got as many points as I would like, but Hannah, what are our scores so far in round 1?
Hey, Justin, you are sitting at 1.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
You are at 5.
I got a lot of catching up to do, but welcome back to the show, Nathan.
Yeah,
thank you.
So you are a contributor to Ages of Guard. Can you let our audience know what that is for those who do not know?
Ages of Guard is a conglomerate of the brightest minds of geek culture, also my friends, and which is probably what they were first, and then I decided they're that. And we just basically write articles, whichever piques our fancy in the geek culture. I like a lot of stuff about Joss Whedon is actually one of my focuses, and comic books and Thor makes a lot of appearances in my articles. And my other friends write whatever they want, from like the horror all the way to the latest trailers, and just what they can.
What are you into right now? Because we already know like roughly what your geek disciplines are. Like obviously Firefly, like Joss Whedon, and Thor. What are your other geek disciplines, as well as like what are you like into right now?
Well, right now I'm into watching. I've been watching a lot of what was the show? I was watching. Letterkenny. I was watching a lot of that right now. Excellent stuff. Texas Size 10-4.
Texas Size 10-4, good buddy.
And I'm actually going to be starting up Doom Patrol. I have the first season on DVD. I like the first episode. It was really good.
Is that the one with Danny Pudi in it?
No, Alan Tudyk's in it, which is the connection to Firefly.
Nice transition.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, if we had an elevator pitch for Firefly, what would that be? What would you tell people who wanted to know what Firefly was?
All right. Imagine the perfect combination of Western and sci-fi, just married together with some of the best dialogue you'll probably ever hear, and just some of the best acting, some of the best writing, some of the best concepts. And it's a universe that in the very absolute first episode, you know everyone. You get every character without, there's delay in other shows where you're like, oh, I don't know. I mean, it takes a while to build up steam. Right off the bat, you know exactly what the show is, and you're in. And it's one of the few shows where every single episode just builds this great character development and great just community within just watching it by yourself. You'll find the characters you love the most or connect the most, and the action's really well done. I mean, it's a TV show, so they have those, they only have so much budget, and this show is just top notch from beginning to end.
It's so ahead of its time. It'll be canceled after 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And it also is the source of some of the greatest geek pain that has ever existed.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm sure we'll get into that a little later. But Ish, what was your first experience with Firefly?
Wait, first I want to. Oh, I'll ask in round two. After round two. My first experience, I don't remember how I heard about it, but I think I actually watched it one time. When I had a free trial to Netflix way back when, because the whole season
back when
was
they
on
had
Netflix.
DVDs.
Yeah, no, it was after that. It was when I had the streaming services. But they had. I think I watched like all of that and part of some other show I can't remember.
Okay, and then what got you into it?
But, I can't remember. It was just like exactly what Nathan said. I don't know who doesn't like sci-fi and or westerns, and it is such a beautiful combination of both. It's I mean, I'm probably wrong, but I feel like it kind of helped define what a space western is.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, maybe Cowboy Bebop came out before it, but
yeah, I'm forgetting what year that came out and which came first. I feel like it might have been Firefly, but
yeah. But it has Joss Whedon, who we've all seen his movies. I love all of them, and I haven't seen all of his TV series, but when we covered Buffy, the few episodes I did watch, I'm like, oh my gosh, this show is great.
Right.
And it's got who plays Mal Reynolds?
Nathan Fillion.
I
like the name a lot. It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's a good Christian name.
Yeah, so the stuff I've seen him in, I've never seen Castle, but I think my first exposure to him was Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which again is by Joss Whedon, and I think Joss Whedon also wrote a couple episodes of Doctor Who, which is I think the one where they have the Daleks. I think it's the one in New York during the Depression. I think he wrote that episode.
I think I remember that. That was the one with Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nathan, so how about you? How'd you started watching it? How did you come across it?
I unfortunately came across it mostly through DVD. I didn't catch it when it was on TV. So it's here about 2002 is when it aired.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally missed it on air. So I watched it through DVDs and just fell in love with it because I could keep watching episodes over and over again, kind of memorize the dialogue almost. And really just its second life is when I really fell in love with it.
Very cool. So you mentioned a little bit of why you got hooked into it. But what is it about this show that made it so ingrained into this culture?
Well, I mean, I think that it's this great combination of comedy and drama. And they call dramedy, kind of that kind of combination. And it's just really this perfect balance of just being really funny. Every character has a different nuance of how they're funny. Everyone's funny, but you can tell some people are more dry, some are more pratfalls and kind of big facial expressions, and some are just really like very quiet, observational. And it's just every character has a very particular voice, and you can really just fall in love with each one. Like you all have your favorites. My favorite's Captain Mal. I mean, I love him from the line in the Shindig where he's just at the end of it he goes like the mark of kindness is a mark of a great man, and he stabs the guy, and he goes like, well, I'm just a good man, and then stabs him again.
It's like I'm just okay.
And I'm just like, the stuff like that just like it resonated so deeply with me because of course, he's not gonna kill any guy that he defeated, but I mean, come on, you guys, like there's some there's some really human, what feels like really human reaction.
How about you, Josh?
Like Nathan again, like the writing is so good. Like the dialogue, there's so many like quotes that just kind of go over your head, or at least like my head when I watched this like a couple times. I know the first time like some stuff went over my head, and then researching it again for this podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh, some of the stuff is so like great. And I hope this doesn't ruin a future question, but that scene where Wash is playing with the dinosaurs, I don't know why, but it just reminded me so much of Mrs. Doubtfire. Where he's playing with the dinosaurs there. Yeah, like it's just like it's so well done, and it's like I feel like it's actually like, because of the dialogue and stuff, it feels like what people would actually do in those situations.
Yeah.
One of the craziest things I did notice for this podcast, reviewing for this podcast, was, man, Malcolm really, like, Firefly, like, really got lucky with an all-star crew. Like, the captain is, he served as a sergeant during the war. His first mate is, his right-hand person, person to trust most. Wash, the captain, like, was highly sought after as a pilot. They got a doctor who graduated in the top 3 percentile of his class. Like,
Kaylee's an engineering genius.
Yeah, exactly. And like Summer's a prodigy.
Jane's Jane.
Jane.
Yeah. And Book has a mysterious past that was never explored on film.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about. But I mean, I think me personally, I mean, I never watched this show until now. And it was one of those things that were like, it's kind of like a geek's must read list almost.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to it until now, and then like it's a really good show. I really like it. I mean, it's funny that when you say who doesn't like westerns, well, I was like, I'm okay with westerns. I'm not like I don't really go find westerns. Really, but like I love how this show is so distinct, and then like it's so funny that like you see a lot of times you see the Western part, just the Western part, and then you see the sci-fi part, and then it's so trippy to see those two when they do blend in. I don't know, it's such like the show does such a great job marrying those two genres together. It's just crazy. I'm like, until they take out some like laser gun or they start typing on a computer, I forget that we're in space or whatever. But yeah, like you had us watch there's only one season, unfortunately. And then there's also the movie that we also watched for this as well, which is called Serenity. And then I want to talk a little bit more about that. But before we do that, let's jump back into
round 2.
So for our listeners who have not noticed, Hannah her internet's down, so she's trying to join us back in as soon as it gets back up.
She just quit mid-podcast.
But Ish, why don't you take on Hannah's voice right now, and then just let us know our scores.
Okay. So according to Hannah, I am at 5 and Justin is at 1.
All right, perfect. So, Nathan, why don't you hit us with your round 2?
You got it. All right. Since you mentioned the movie, I'm gonna jump into movie questions.
Oh, perfect.
All right. I got 4 of them here. All right. So, what triggered River? Ish.
There's a subliminal frequency or message during advertisement broadcast.
Excellent. Yes.
No, this is the oat fruit
It was
bar.
called the Ogie Bar.
The
The
oat
Ogie Bar.
With a weird little jingle. And then she went and beat the crap out of an entire bar full of people.
I knew she had it in her the whole time.
They're building up to it. Okay. What was the name of the planet that Book died on?
Oh.
Ooh,
Yes, ish.
Haven?
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Correct. There we go. Yeah, very, very tough scene. We'll never know.
Yeah,
what
that
was
was
his
such
name?
like a because
Say something.
like,
Here's
I
this
think-
file.
yeah, like I think
Jeez.
his history is explored in the comics that came out like afterwards, but it's like from a visual standpoint, you're like,
It's actually really good.
yeah,
The
okay,
comic
cool,
there is
yeah.
the one that describes it, and it's really good.
Who publishes it?
I think at the time it was, I think it's Dark Horse now. I think they bought it. Dark Horse.
Yeah,
But it's pretty easy.
Whenever it's not Marvel or DC, I just guess Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. What was the name of the villain?
Ooh.
Oh,
Yes.
no, wait. Why did I do that? Oh God. Was his name? Okay, I was about to say Riker. I was watching TV last night.
Wait, why did Riker be the villain?
No, I
it'd
don't know.
be
like,
Khan.
his name would just like pop up for some reason. I forget
Borg.
what it was.
He's called the Borg. Yes.
Yeah.
Wrong sci-fi.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'll guess the prosecutor.
Wow, pretty close. The operative.
The operative.
Ooh. Okay,
I
so
think
it
it
was
was like a title.
No fast.
Yeah.
Okay. And last one for the movie question. Who created the Reavers?
was that? I mean, was it just like the Alliance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It was accidental. It wasn't on purpose, but they did basically get the chain going. Destroyed the entire planet, and then there you go.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That never happened. You can't prove it.
Can't prove it.
Yeah.
Okay, so after round 2, before we get our scores, why don't you hit us with our sponsor break, Ish?
This episode of Geek K.O. is not brought to you by the Companion Guild. Are you all decked out with a new tux, fresh dew, and a space limo, but still don't have a date to the prom? Well, be sure to contact the Companion Guild. They provide companions of all types of etiquette, class, and most importantly, hairstyles. Your next date is waiting for you at the Companion Guild. Make sure you mind your manners, or you may end up blacklisted, blackballed, and black-eyed.
All right, so after round 2, what was our score so far, Ish?
I forgot to keep scores, but
I'm pretty sure you got them all, didn't? Or I got one.
No, you got one. Okay.
Yeah. I had 4.
Yeah.
So 3 for Ish, one for Justin.
Okay. Oh man, I'm glad you're better at this than me. Oh, I couldn't remember if I got one or not. Okay,
Quick
so
math was like 4 questions, one got it right.
I am at 8. You're at 2.
All
Oh,
right.
actually, wait. You did miss one, right? One didn't get. Wait.
I think
There
so.
we go. That's all good.
We're
What
good.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got one more round to go. But I want to get more of your guys' thoughts on like our on what we just watched. First of all, like, what are your favorite episodes or favorite moments?
Go
Like
ahead.
one of my favorites. One of my favorites is Objects in Space,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
that's
that was
the
what I was
last
gonna go
one.
to.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
last one. It didn't get aired. It's one of the last 2 that didn't get aired.
Oh,
only,
interesting.
only 12 minutes to air.
Oh,
And it is just an amazing one where they just like really delve into like River's growing powers. They have this great villain named Jubal Early. This dude is great. He's like nice and kooky. He's like kooky. He'll just kind of go in tangents, but he's like super threatening. like super intimidating.
Mhm.
And there's just such a great like sequence of thinking outside the box and trying to beat this guy who really just invaded their home, just like showed up out of nowhere, invaded their home, and they're all rattled. And it's just like it was such a great one. And we finally see like a little more sneak peeks on like Book's like mentality, because she sees like through her psychic powers, and her, sorry, it's a spoiler, but she can see kind of glimpses of people's underlying currents of how they're thinking and feeling. Such a good episode.
She's got like a really good spider sense.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. No, I also really like objects in space. Just like I always love the idea, especially with the movie, of just like kind of like a gentleman villain, where like they're just like
eloquent villains.
Yeah, they're just like you almost want to root for them, but like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But actually, one of my I can't remember which episode it was. Oh, I think it was. I want to say War Stories.
Yeah.
Or
War Stories.
One of the other ones where Kaylee is pinned down, and then Summer comes out, takes the gun, and just like looks over, ducks, and it's like pew 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 pew, and then just kills all of them. Like that one moment, I'm like, oh my gosh.
We get a real glimpse of how dangerous she can be.
That is super cool. But one episode I really like is actually probably my favorite, is Ariel.
Yeah.
Because that's where you kind of delve into what is actually going on with Summer. Or River, I mean. I keep mixing up River and Summer because Summer's her real name.
They're like very similar kind of names too.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was definitely a callback to the first episode, where Mal asked Jane, why didn't you sell us out? It's like, the money wasn't good enough. And here, he's like, why'd you do this? He's like, sorry, I got stupid. The money was too good. Like, it was.
Yeah, it's a great scene just showing like Mal how he's just like he's on. He knows Jane. He knows that's the thing. Yeah. Like he knows his crew. He knows what their strengths and their weaknesses.
Wait, what episode was that?
Ariel. The one where they robbed the hospital.
Yeah.
Right. No, that was my favorite episode because listeners of the show know that like one of my favorite genres of movies are heist movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely like my favorite one, especially like even in that little glimpse of like I know that they didn't know at the time, but like when Simon and Simon kind of had started having an appreciation toward Jane. I thought that was even though that was like
it's like
I know
it hurts. I finally earned some respect, and it's kind of like, hey, this guy's not so terrible. He's like, yeah, I just betrayed you, like hardcore. Well,
And also, I really definitely appreciate Simon for like keeping true to his oath as a doctor, where he says to Jane's like, I know you did this stuff, but as long as you're on my operating table, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure
that was in the episode
you walk off it, or something like that.
So, Nathan, do you know why like it was just canceled and not brought back, or
it's
like
it was an expensive show. Like all the CGI, all this stuff that was more expensive than his other shows, because those would be like some monster makeup, but mostly you have a set and you shoot it, but it just cost so much and it wasn't bringing in the ratings they wanted, which sucks. They should at least given it one season to kind of try and build up some momentum.
Right. Do you remember what network it aired on?
Fox.
Okay.
Yeah. Fox and Whedon. Fox and Joss Whedon have a storied, tempestuous history. Like there's been some betrayal, there's been money that suddenly gets cut off, and it's always been an ongoing thing. It's something.
So kind of like a Joss Whedon story.
Yeah, I'm liking it for Joss Whedon story.
So even though that like they canceled it, I mean, was it like fan pressure to at least get the movie?
Oh yeah, it was really Joss Whedon because he loved it. I mean, this show is very much made by people that love the show, and Joss loved it. He just wanted to finish at least some threads that were driving him crazy, and so basically it was through him and some good fan push, but it was really through him just going like, I really need to make this movie. I really, really want to make this movie, and they're like, and somehow, some way, he was able to talk. I think Universal, and she's just like, all right, here's the money.
It was so good too. Like the only like problem I found with it was just like, oh, but now there's like a definitive like quote unquote ending to the show.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, instead of that nice little dot
like
dot dot.
and it was it was a very good ending, but like at the same time it was like this is the end.
Yeah,
unless they, I mean, you can always explore more. I mean,
it's a series.
if
It's
Star
basically a
Wars
series
could do
finale.
it, if Star Wars could do it, anyone could do it.
Yeah,
Right. I mean, I think like I really liked it too. I mean, I don't know if there's like some like group of fans that might think that like it wasn't great, but or maybe they're just mad because they just, I don't know, maybe because like, oh, that's it, because that's still we still want more. But I think like my only complaint is, going back to Shepherd book, it's like, okay, first we did explore a story and then you just killed them off. And spoiler alert. I mean, this show is like Geek K.O is like a spoiler alert for most people. Anyway,
2002 to now.
Right. But then like, I don't know if he could have like maybe figured out a way to like insert book into like the story somehow, as in like maybe the history of, I don't know, like how River was created, or like the Reavers or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. At least a little bit.
I mean, maybe like, because I know his backstory is explored more in the comics.
Right. Right.
So.
And yeah, and like speaking of that, like, I mean, there's the comics. Is there anything else that's like other than the comics that like they explore Firefly a little bit more?
It's really the comics. There was like 2 miniseries that came out that was written by Joss Whedon. So that's most, canon that you can get. And right now there's an ongoing series. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's exploring the world after Serenity movie.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like one episode of Castle where there's like a reference.
Yeah, and then so like, obviously there's a ton of fans that still wanted to come back, and like obviously I mean it still lives on in the comics, so obviously they can still keep going with the TV series. There's always, there's always either petitions or like there's always like rumors about like it coming back. Like, what do you guys think the possibility or like the probability of it coming back to at least do like a, I don't know, like maybe one more episode or like one more movie? What do you guys think it is? Do you think it's coming back?
Man, like every year since it's canceled, there's something in the works. There could be something. And it's tricky. And I mean, on a sad note, Ron Glass that played Book, he's passed away. So we're never gonna be able to get, him doing his rendition. That's gone. And all the actors are older now. Like I mean, that's the thing that shows up. Like, how old do we want our actors to look at some point?
It would have to be post Serenity if they did something.
Yeah, it'd have to be post Serenity. It'd have to be almost, take Star Wars now. I mean, we got 60-year-old, Harrison Ford running around being Han Solo. We got I mean, he surely did it once, but there's a point. Like, do we want them back or do we want the universe back? And so maybe take what you can get. Kind of thing.
See,
but I would love one. Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like
absolutely.
Does Joss Whedon have any kids?
Yeah, he has some kids, but mostly his brother and his sister-in-law work in the industry. They were working on.
I mean, if they're, as long as like, because I don't know how old the Whedons are, like the creators and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know Joss Whedon actually comes, like his father and grandfather were like writers and stuff. So like if he had like a son or daughter.
Well, Joss is still right now.
I didn't know how old he was, but like
maybe late 50s.
If the next generation wanted to carry on, like I would definitely more appreciate the same universe with kind of almost like Legend of Korra in a sense.
Yeah.
How they continued the universe with new people, but still had a couple old characters like reoccurring, but it was a new set of circumstances. I think I would more like, but at the same time, I feel like it's almost it's definitely safer to not touch it and kind of keep it preserved.
Yeah. At this point.
Yeah.
So at any iteration, it sounds like any iteration you guys would take if it was just as long as it was like, still canon and within.
I'd say if Eden was still involved.
Yeah, as long as there's a weed involved.
Right, exactly.
I'll say what anime again. I'd like the original, of course, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I mean, it still has its cultural impact though. Like what's one reason why you think that is? Obviously, because even every convention I go to, I see a Jane hat. Like see like 20 Jane hats, and which is funny because the Jane hat only showed up like in one episode.
That's it. I think it's a lot of the cosplay. Like thinking just like statistically, like all the stuff for costumes you can make pretty easy. Like they're not like really complicated anime like with like different tendrils coming out. It's like it's a t-shirt, it's a jeans,
Because
it's
anime,
memorable.
you have to have tentacles.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of anime, this is like the most anime, like a live action opening I think I've seen. like for how short it is, and for because like a lot of live action stuff, like they just show like what's gonna happen in episodes and stuff, and they do, they also do it here, but then they kind of have like that kind of made artwork stuff, and like I feel like some of it is slightly matched to the lyrics and stuff, and I'm like, all right, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, how do you guys have that like song stuck in your head now that you have to like watch it again?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I love that song. I also love the Hero.
I forgot how much I loved it. Yeah.
Oh man. So I mean, one last question for you guys about this. Like if you could be like any, serve any function on that ship, what would it be?
Publicist? SEO.
I mean, they're like they had like almost any type of like role on that ship. They had like a companion on there, and they had like a preacher on there.
I'd be a companion.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's funny because so I really like Simon. Like I don't know why, I just really like Simon's character.
Okay.
So like,
yeah, I actually like Simon too. Like he does come off a little bratty sometimes, but he has some redeeming qualities.
I mean, but I mean, like, so I would like to have like, if I knew if I was as knowledgeable as medical practice as he is, I'm like, oh yeah, that would be really cool to be. And for a similar reason, I would like Kaylee's position because she's the chief mechanic, and since I have like an engineering background, like that seems really fun. Like I love just kind of like working on stuff and just kind of being the the guy to do stuff. But also because I love One Piece so much, I also love Zoe's position of just kind of being like the first mate or second in command.
Number one.
Yeah, number one. Yeah.
Make it so.
I think,
but see, at the same time, I also love piloting. Like I wanted to join the Air Force way back when.
Oh wow.
I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but it didn't work out, obviously.
You
but
feel like a one-man crew. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, if I could just clone myself, it'd be perfect.
9 inches running around yelling at each other.
Yeah.
I feel like I would probably like. I mean, they didn't have this position, but I think I just want to be a cook. I just want to like.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Actually,
like,
there you go.
I mean, no one was. I mean, they were just. It looked like they were just like cooking whatever that they had in the can, I guess. But
yeah.
Hey, fun fact. Oh, yeah, really quickly. Fun fact for all of our listeners: this podcast was slightly delayed in recording because Justin was cooking for his roommates.
I mean, a little background. My roommates are both COVID nurses, and they.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they're it's the least I can do. They also have like a kid, so it's like it's the least I can do in order to help out a little bit, especially when they get home and everything. So I've been like cooking a lot, and which is actually nice for me because I love cooking. But like because when I'm working and I'm on set, I never really get to cook. So like the most I've ever, I put a challenge on myself to like cook a new thing every day. So that's what I've been doing. So yeah.
I had a question for this round, but I totally forgot it.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Nathan, do you have any upcoming projects that you want to let our listeners know about?
Well, it's I've just been working from home. I've been very distracted by that, but I do have a comic book that I'm trying to get going right now, the writing process, and then
Nice.
hopefully finally got a good list of characters now, and that's kind of how I work is get the characters so they can tell me the story, like Firefly. Those great characters just bring people in. So finally, I kind of fleshed them out and figured them out.
There you go.
Right now, it's in the making process.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly have the time to do it. So.
Oh my god, so much time.
Now's the time to write that screenplay.
Write everything. I had this great one about a guy who's stuck at home and can't leave.
It's like I saw a funny meme the other day. It was like the hardest part about writing a screenplay is getting to 100% on Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot to
if anyone wants to follow your status on that, how can they find you?
Just follow me on Twitter, Nate the Greater, and also just keep reading some articles I got on Agents of Guard. And
not Nate the Lesser. Don't follow that guy.
I finally defeated him, and I was able to gain the title.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a long process, very much like Highlander.
What's the website for Agents of the Guard?
It's agentsofguard.com.
Nice.
Oh, how Perfect. Easy.
Yeah, we tried to make it easy instead of a bunch of weird offshoots.
All right. So with that, let's jump into our
final round.
So before we get our final round, what are our scores right now?
Well, since Hannah's not here, I'm at 1,000 and you're at only 2.
Honestly, the way that these points are going right now, you might as well be. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start off. The phrase that puts River to sleep is "eto karam na smek." What language is that?
Oh man, Latin?
No, it is Old Russian.
Old Russian.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As a side note, do you know what that means?
It means go to sleep, please, go to sleep.
Go to sleep, little child, or I
go to sleep, child. In Russia, you sleep follows you.
Well, it's funny because literally, it means that's absurd. But the literal translation sounds sounds like it could be Russian. That is for chickens to laugh at.
Oh, that
you definitely won't hear that in regular conversation.
Love that.
So say that in a Russian accent.
What? That is for chickens to laugh at?
That is for chickens to laugh at.
Doesn't it sound appropriate? Anyway, go ahead, Ish.
Oh, okay. All right. Since I'm a fan of ships. In the episode Safe, what is the name of the ship that Book gets treatment after he's injured?
Oh man, the Magellan.
That is correct, the Magellan.
Nice. All right. In the episode Our Mrs. Reynolds, which I believe is one of your favorite episodes, right?
Yes.
Saffron. What does Jane get as a gift?
Gets a stupid stick, just makes rain sounds.
That's correct. It's a rain stick. He seems so happy about that.
He was drunk happy, and we all know drunk happy is not the same as regular happy.
Well, he looks sincere.
Yeah. No, he did love it at the time, but in comparison to an entire beautiful woman,
right?
Like, oh, wait a minute.
All right. In the episode Ariel, what is the name of the hospital that they rob?
Ooh.
Let's see. St. Mercy's.
Ooh, close. St. Lucy's.
St. Lucy's.
Yeah.
My second guess was Sacred Heart.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought it was St. Mary's. But that might be the hospital I was born in. So.
St. Mary's.
All right. My last question to you is from the movie. What type of planet classification is Miranda?
Black Rock.
Oh, correct. Yes. Very good. Which means that it's not
Yeah, it's uninhabitable.
Right.
Yeah, or
But
that's
we
what they
learned
said.
that it was
Uninhabitable.
It was fake news. Turned out to be
fake news. Very
Don't worry about
topical
it.
nowadays.
All right,
There's
so
most rocks, the most black rocks, the most rocks. Everyone's living on, but they can't live on them. They're dead. Sorry, you can cut that out of my mail and they get too political.
Oh, feel free. You're in good company here.
So throughout the series, and I believe also the movie, especially in the movie, there's a logo of a company advertised throughout. What is the name of that company?
Blue Sun.
It is Blue Sun.
Oh,
yes. Hands of blue.
I've actually never noticed that. Did they ever address it, or like did they ever
alluded?
Okay.
Yeah, but that's actually in canon. It's supposed to be that's the company that is doing all the experiments on River.
Oh, okay.
It's never said in the series or the movie. It's just they're kind of building up to that.
Interesting. I actually didn't catch that. It'd be like
fun fact.
Yeah, little things built up, man. God, I couldn't get a season.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I love this show because the same reason I love Reboot. It's just because just the world building and writing is so good.
Right. I mean, I actually wanted to ask you guys, well, first of all, what are our final scores?
What score do you want?
I don't know. Maybe I know you won, so maybe one less than you, so it makes it sound great.
Oh, nice.
I was actually going to do my scores one more than you.
Oh, so. Okay.
That's why I asked what score do you want?
So, you can have X, and I can have X minus 1.
There we go.
There you go.
So the final score is Ish has X, and Justin has X minus 1.
Well, congratulations, Ish. Good job.
Super close.
It was super close.
Back and forth.
It was super coils.
I do want to ask you guys, if we did have one more season, what story arc would like to see?
Well, it's a book, of course. That's a fantastic one.
Yeah, I was saying,
it's past.
I feel like book should be the Jesus answer, where it's aside from book.
Yeah. Okay, how about we do this?
That's a good point. Yeah.
How about we do this? In the count of 3, in one word, what do you want our the arc to be? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Book.
Zoe's baby.
Dang it!
Ooh, Zoe's baby.
Oh. Yeah, you know what? I was actually surprised that at the end she was like, "I'm pregnant."
Yeah, you think it's something like, or maybe use science to grab some gin.
See, if they ever continue the series, that would be really cool. If the next pilot or any crew member is that child.
Yeah,
that's a perfect tie-in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would love the next generation to have Zoe turned out to be pregnant and everything. That I would love that. I would actually watch that. But yeah, thank you again, Nathan, for coming in and doing this topic with us. I mean, this topic's been a long time coming. I'm finally glad I finally watched it, so everyone can stop being mad at me because I finally did it. So once again, for anyone that wants to find you on the interwebs, how can they find you?
I'll be on Twitter at Nate the Greater. I'll be Agents of Guard. I'm Agent Nathan, and just wandering around with my slinging my comic book, The Shroud City. Yeah, you find that on Facebook mostly right now.
Nice.
Is there anything about Firefly you want to add before we log out?
Well, one thing is that the song was written by Joss Whedon. He actually wrote all the lyrics.
Forgot how much I love this song, this opening.
Yeah. It's so simple, but that's the thing. It's so easy to sing to.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. The second verse is what I aspire my life to be.
I mean, I would ask you guys to sing it, but then because we are on a internet delay, that would just sound horrible. But next time we are all in the studio together, you both can sing it.
There we go. Watch out! Geek K.O hits.
Yeah. We'll barbershop quartet it.
There we go. We're just 2 people.
It's just 2 people. Well, thanks again, you guys. Nathan, really love having you on the show. I'm glad you're keeping safe during this time and everything. But hopefully, the next time we get to see you, it'll be in studio, and everyone will be healthy by then.
Yeah, we gotta have a rager when we get out of here.
Yeah. Dude.
All right.
We can just have a rager on stream, not stream, but.
I know. After this, we should just have a happy hour after this.
I saw a way where people played Flip Cup. And I'm kind of interested. I might want to set it up with some people. So.
All right. All right, and you're listening to Geek K.O, your Geek Trivia podcast. Listen to our past levels on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so already. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, under the handle, and YouTube under the handle GKO Podcast. Our email is host@gkopodcast.com, and our home on the web is gkopodcast.com. We are recording at home. But typically we record it in Wayland Productions, an award-winning production company for short films, documentaries, and audio dramas. Please check them out at wayland.ws and support the video, audio, and visual arts. Special thanks goes out again to Nathan Schulz, our producer, who is floating out there in the interwebs, Hannah Miraz.
Who's outside the ship.
Outside the ship is the ship.
Yeah.
Our composer to our theme song, Marley Rosner. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Jahsten, JAAHSTEN.
I am Joke Necromancer.
Our next episode is on
Iron
Man. And until next time, we'll see you on
Geek K.O.